I want to talk about an issue that I've heard associated with Asperger's a few times, and that is the idea that people who have Asperger Syndrome or high functioning autism are arrogant. Um, and I myself have gotten that accusation. I've been called a know it all, I've been called stuck up, I've been called arrogant, um, when I was a kid, one of my sister's best friends, which my sister was 6 years older than me, one of her best friends, who was also like 6 years older than me, said that I intimidated her. And I couldn't understand that for the life of me. And now looking back on it and thinking about um, just the way others may be perceiving things, I think that the reason people may think that those of us with Asperger's or high functioning autism sometimes come off as arrogant is because those of us who have high functioning autism, we have very specific special interests. And when we are interested in something, we like learn everything there is to know about. We literally become obsessed with it. And I mean, when I'm really into something, that's what I live for. That's what I constantly think about. I'm always wanting to read about it and, look up stuff online about it. That's just my nature. And um, through doing that, I become almost somewhat of an expert on some subjects. And the same is true for other people with Asperger's or high functioning autism. And the problem is that a lot of times we don't really talk a whole lot unless something comes up that we know a lot about. And I think some of this is because, number one, we may not be interested if it's something we just really don't know anything about or don't really care about. And the other issue is, at least personally, I know I feel kind of insecure and not sure what to say when a subject comes up that I don't know a whole lot about or I'm not interested in. So the time that we talk normally is when we are talking about something we know a lot about and we care passionately about, and we have this desire to share all of the wealth of information that we've gathered about that subject. And the problem is that we don't realize a lot of people aren't interested in everything as deeply as we are. And when we keep giving information and more information and more information about something, even after people have lost interest, they take that as us being a know-it-all or like arrogant, like, we're trying to be superior or something, which really isn't the case. It's just we don't understand sometimes when to let things go. And I know personally, uh, some of my special interests, when I talk to people about that interest or it comes up in conversation, it really, like, if someone says something and I know it's wrong, I want to correct them. And not to be mean. I'm not like trying to be hateful or mean. It's more like I care so much about that subject that I have to, try to share what I know about it so that, they'll know what I know about it. But often other people take it as I'm, being rude and like telling them they're wrong and trying to set them straight, which isn't how it is meant, but it may be how it comes across. And I know my husband, who I'm pretty sure is on the high functioning autistic scale as well, he has the same issue. Like, one of his special interests is like Bible history and like not just the history of the Bible, but after the Bible was written, like how it was put together and all that stuff. And he really can irritate people who, have grown up and always been told certain things about the Bible, and when he tells them that that's not necessarily true or that they may not have been told the right thing, a lot of people get upset, especially since, religion is a sensitive subject anyway. And unfortunately, my husband, he's had some family members and friends get really upset with him about that. And it's a kind of an interest of mine too, religion in general, but not quite as much as it is for him. But I've had the same kind of thing too. People get really mad with religion and politics, especially, either one. If you disagree with them and try to explain your position, a lot of times people don't listen. And so that causes a lot of issues. But anyway, back to the main subject, which is, looking arrogant or whatever. Me and my husband, we were talking about this the other day, and both of us realized that occasionally we do come across as arrogant. And when we start to see that in ourselves, like we try to tone it down, we try to not be that way. But it is hard when you're so passionate about a subject and you love it so much, you want everybody to love it and understand it like you do. And we have to realize that, not everybody necessarily wants to understand it like we do. And so that's kind of what my thought is about why people think those of us with Asperger syndrome are arrogant. If you agree or disagree, feel free to comment below and let me know what you think. If you have any subjects you'd like me to talk about, feel free to also tell me that in the comments. And like this video if you like it, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. So I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.